Just a quick recording. Because this, I don't know if this is an article or what it'll shape up to be, but this is important. I was thinking this morning, like, it's a small wonder people just totally avoid emotional work. Because fuck, it is hard. In every emotion, you basically have to ask, is this real? Is this legitimate? Or is this something from my past? And trying to figure that difference out is confusing, confronting, and can be extremely painful. You know, the other day when I was talking to Mom, and she says, oh, I hate people, I hate everybody, blah, 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 blah. And I know my mother, so I called her out for what it was. And I said, Mom, you don't hate people. You hate the way they make you feel, and you hate emotions. People make us feel things that we don't want to feel, so our brain makes the very logical conclusion that we don't like people. It's not true. It's never going to be true. We're humans. We need each other. We're meant to be around people. We're meant to be in communities. What we find absolutely insufferable is our own emotions. Some of us, some more than others. If we're never taught how to deal with our emotions, then yeah. And I can definitely state that my mother and me and basically everybody in my family has little ability to deal with our emotions. This is why we have various diagnoses of mental illness. At least that's my hypothesis. It is not people we don't like. It is the way they make us feel. So what the fuck do we do with that? Well, we start to tease apart the relationships. We start to look at our emotions and say, okay, why do I feel like that? Is that a legitimate emotion? Like, there's definitely a reason. And the ironic thing is that when we ask ourselves, we will very, very typically get an answer. Like, yep, that's legit. That person was a son of a bitch. They acted irresponsibly, or they pissed us off, or they tried to manipulate us in some way, or they tried to suppress who we were in some way. You know, when a certain so-and-so, who I loved with all my heart and wanted nothing more than to be with for the rest of my life, turned to me and said, why can't you just do what you're told? Every part of me inside screamed, and I reacted very, very unfavorably. And I didn't really understand what was happening then, but I understand much better now in hindsight. And that was the day I really started fighting him tooth and nail. That was the day I realized that he either didn't know who I was or wanted to suppress who I was. And I have a gypsy spirit that needs freedom more than anything. Not to be alone. Just freedom. Freedom to be myself. And I am not the kind of person to just do what I'm told. And I don't think it's too much to ask to have a partner who allows me to do what I bloody well want to do. And loves me for it. I don't think that that's unrealistic. I'll never believe that that's unrealistic. Maybe I'm just naive or romantic. I don't know. But I certainly don't want to be with someone who wants me to, quote, just do what I'm told. That was the day our relationship actually ended. But because I loved him and didn't want to be alone again, I didn't want another failed relationship under my belt. I tried. I tried in earnest to just do what I was told. And I fought both that part of myself and him every day since. Until the relationship did inevitably fail. And I felt the relief, the sting, and the loss of habit and the utter pain. But there was also relief because I could be myself again. And I could look for someone who could love me for being the shit-stirring little wild card that I am. The tornado of crazy and change and chaos and all the weird things about me. It is not unreasonable to think that someone could love me for the same reasons that someone else wanted to suppress in me. Because they didn't actually love me. I don't know. He must have loved something about me. But he didn't love the part of me that I loved about myself. Huh, that's interesting. See, this is why I talk shit out. I never knew that about myself. I never knew that until just then. There's parts of myself that I love so much. And one of them is my gypsy wildcard, crazy ass, spontaneous side. But it wasn't it's not convenient for most people. But I will defend that part of myself. But anyway, geez, boy, that was a fucking tangent. An important one. But yeah, it is not surprising that most people don't want to do the emotional healing venture. Because, God, I've never been more confused in my life. The second I think I've got something figured out, something happens and I realize I don't know jack shit about myself or anybody else, and everything just comes crashing down. I have to rebuild. But every time I rebuild, I know myself and how I operate in the world better. I'm able to make more conscious decisions. I'm more aware, and I slowly, very, very fucking slowly get wiser. It just occurred to me today, and I don't know. Honestly, it feels like I should have realized this ages ago, and I probably have, but forgotten it. The memories, the recurrent memories that I have. There's got to be a reason why certain memories keep cropping up. I don't remember everything. I only remember certain things. And it's because something happened in that moment that hardwired my brain to think or feel or act a certain way. And the memory keeps cropping up to say, hey, can we have a little bit of focus over here? Because something happened that really left its mark. And I'm just going to keep spitting it back up until we do something about this. Until we unplug from this. Most people would like to just shut down and pretend that nothing's wrong. I did that. I did that for 30 plus years. And all it's done is it's led to one absolute emotional, psychological breakdown after another. And I won't do that again. I'd rather cry at work in front of people I can trust to understand and listen and not judge me and be vulnerable with both myself and others than bottle it up and take another turn on the Ferris wheel of anxiety or rage, depression, or name any recurrent behavioral problem or issue that we've remembered throughout time because we don't deal with emotions in real time. So yeah, it's tough. Every time I fucking feel something, I've got to say, well, wait a minute. Why don't I trust that person? Is it because of something from my past that I'm dragging into the present? Or are there legitimate reasons not to trust them? Like this guy says he's a prince in Africa and just needs my bank account number to claim his fortune. Good shit. But this is what it is. Heavy shit.